benefactor. He built this building with the money he earned in those other industries. He's both a literal benefactor and a man staunchly rooted in the misogynist tradition. It's all in the treasure chest, folks. And I've probably got about 60 more hours of 18th century letter reading ahead of me. I only was able to spend 4 hours with the treasure box last weekend. So stay tuned. I'm hoping to read more about General Wayne. So here are some conclusions. Conclusions and then a little bit more after that. So I'm looking at 105. I'll get you out of here by 105. So my conclusions are these. So America has clocked centuries of disdain toward women, and I think that was the single fact that rocked me so much in these past weeks. That I think somewhere in this kind of glorious state of living at Penn Charter, and I forgot this fact that history shows us that people disdain women. And then the second conclusion is that even the good guys, and so there's some good guys up here, right? We are here because of William Penn. Dr. Preston treated probably hundreds, if not thousands, of women over the course of his life. So even the good ones, the benevolent ones, enact misogynist beliefs and actions. And then the last point is that misogyny is no longer underground or hidden or historical. It's out in the open, and it's running the country. This is all very disturbing. Thankfully, though, as an atheist, a feminist, and a teacher, I am almost compulsively inspired to send you away with a plan. When you feel horrible or when words are not helping, sometimes the only thing that does help is action. So I encourage each of you, to formulate your own plan. Each of you, like me, has a brain and a community with the will to understand and empathize. So in fact, we have quite a lot. All members of a Quaker community are charged with seeking out injustice and then seeking to rectify it. By virtue of being here, your personal mission is to do good with what you have. So women, my advice is simple. This is a very short advice section. I offer you the mantra of Oprah Shonda Rhimes and Olivia Rita Thomas, who's over there, and other luminous ladies. The mantra: be awesome every day, to yourself and to each other. Recite proofread from memory like Hannah Calistri. Don't apologize for speaking and thinking. It's your job to do both here. So speak up. In her novel, Mercy, Toni Morrison writes, own thyself. I don't think it gets any simpler than that. For men, misogyny is a bit more complicated because what I'm asking you to do is to learn and then monitor your tendencies to replicate society's worst habits. That takes a lot of work. But if you begin now, you will enjoy a lifetime of benefits. Men, I'm going to speak for women now, or at least white straight women, though speaking on behalf of a group is a huge no-no in almost any context, but I'm just going to go for it, because here I am. I know that most of you care, and that many of you will grow up to be wonderful people in the model of my own two J. Preston Thomases. But your vigilance and your action are needed every day. To be A-okay with everything happening right now is also to be a little bit lazy, because people are suffering. I am suffering, and others are all around us. Being part of a Quaker community means that suffering belongs to us to share and to solve. Young men at Penn Charter, so many of you already have what it takes to be superhero supporters of women. I see you and all the greatness and potential you carry with you. And so here are some actions for you. Help your peers show respect for female speakers in assembly, in class, and in life. When a young woman gets up to speak, or a not so young woman gets up to speak, stop speaking. You do not all do this now. Young women, of course, this also applies to you. Your bodies, your voices, and even sometimes your caring, attentive silence are all anti-misogyny devices. In class, be sure you're listening at least as often as you are speaking. And Block 3 freshmen today, did this beautifully. It was magical. It was magical. And of course, that also is advice for everyone. And then an extension of today's, or sort of summing up what we have here today, follow the narrative. Observe when people are speaking badly of women. Think of misogyny as a horrible orange monster that wants to lure you into agreeing subtly that female people are inferior. Women, avoid being in on the jokes that denigrate us. That's called internalized misogyny, and it just may be the saddest kind. Say, that's messed up, and walk away. Or say a whole lot more, because you can. In class, some of you may find yourselves involved in a discussion on rape or rape culture, the misogyny that translates into physical and psychological violence. Try not to be the person who keeps talking about women accusing people falsely of rape. False accusations are quite rare. They are highly publicized because they are part of the misogyny narrative. The mainstream has a vested interest in making women seem worthy of blame. Your job is to do the opposite. Start by saying no. When we are silent as others are suffering, or when we move along in the stream of that main narrative, we are like Penn at the witch trial. We may indeed be benevolent, and we may even very sweetly opt out of hanging actual people. But always attend to the narratives, the dominant narratives of oppression that question the believability of women, that offer conspiracy theories on the circumstances of Matthew Shepard's death, as Zion pointed out yesterday. The narratives that arrogantly declare that the poor do not want to work. These are the stories oppression wants to tell. There are news channels, as we saw earlier, that tell these stories all day long. Our job is to attend to the stories of people whom history has not treated well. Because history, like misogyny, bleeds terribly into the present. If you have a sense of being just fine right now, of wanting everyone to move on, of wondering why people are out in the streets like sore losers, you can't really claim the values that reside here. You must listen. And you must look at all of my beautiful gods who are burning and burning. It is your responsibility and your privilege to ask why and what can I do? I invite you to check out Dr. Preston's 18th century VIP passes before you leave, and thank you very much for being here.